What is good? What is up? It's Jordan or Texans Thoughts, and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be breaking down the Texans preseason victory over the Packers. And yes, I know it's preseason, yada yada yada, but take everything with a grain of salt. But there are still good and bad things to learn from, and I was excited to see early flashes of what identity the Texans are trying to emulate on both sides of the field. I'll take you through our stingy third down defense, how we generated turnovers, why we won the battle in the trenches, the power run game with Scotty Phillips and fullback looks, and the whole Davis Mills experience. So if you enjoy the video, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the game. Now let's get into the film of Texans versus Packers, because the film don't lie. You know where I was the most impressed? It's the defense allowing just 7 points. They played with fire, they played with energy, and they bought into Lovie Smith's principles. That's to play fast, to play hard, and to take the ball away. One thing that really stood out to me was our third down defense, holding the Packers to just 3 completions on 11 third downs. Here's the first third down of the day, with some presumed starters like Jordan Jenkins, Desmond King, Terrence Mitchell, and possibly Lonnie Johnson. The Texans bring their 2 linebackers down onto the line of scrimmage to give quarterback Jordan Love a confusing look pre-snap. And we're playing a cover 1 hole blitz, with Hewitt as the hole and Lonnie deep as the single high, and then man coverage across the board. What I love about this play is one of Lovie's main principles: play aggressive. No matter the position on defense, you play aggressive, and you see that out of Desmond King, undercutting this crossing route to stay attached to the inside hip of the wide receiver and making this a difficult throw. Good job helping quickly by Lonnie too, but just remember that aggressive angle that King took to the ball. It'll come up again later. Next third down for the Packers, and I love how Lovie got into Jordan Love's head with a similarly looking defense pre-snap. Again, the linebackers are at the line of scrimmage, and remember just last third down, 51 blitzed from this exact same look, just on the opposite gap that he lined up before. It's still cover 1 hole, but this time the linebackers both fake the blitz. One stays in the hole zone, and the other takes the running back out the backfield. The other changeup here is the tackle-tackle twist by Blacklock and Taylor. Blacklock is the spear, who uses his quick first step to shoot into the center and occupy him, while Taylor is the looper, running behind Blacklock and getting past the unaware right guard. Love is forced to step up into the incoming Taylor because Jacob the GOAT Martin beats his tackle to the outside, and it really just shows the symbiotic relationship between the defensive line working together to garner pressure and thus force the errant throw. I really enjoyed the willingness to blitz on these third and long scenarios, something previous defensive coordinators were allergic to. Lovie is trying to target this right guard and center, sending 3 blitzers to outnumber the 2 offensive linemen. Big boy Roy Lopez does his job, slanting and taking on the center. Then nickel cornerback Tavier Thomas and linebacker Neville Hewitt can both attack the right guard, who looks straight confused. And again, it's preseason, that guy ain't starting for the Packers, but it's all we got so far. And the process behind these defensive stops have been night and day from in years past. And if you want your success in fantasy football to be night and day from years past too, join me on Thrive Fantasy, a daily fantasy sports and esports app for player props. The beauty of Thrive is in its simplicity. You can eliminate the countless hours of research and focus on only the top tier athletes that have the biggest impact on the game. Choose 10 out of the 20 available player props to build your lineup, and each prop is assigned a fantasy value for both the over and the under based on how likely it is to hit. Hit the most props and rack up the most points to win a share of the prize pool. Thrive has over $140,000 guarantees in prizes for NFL Week 1 and has already awarded over $4 million in total. Thrive features a $100K guaranteed contest, which is $20 to enter, and first place takes home $20,000. Use promo code TEXANSTHOUGHTS when you sign up today, and you'll receive a 100% instant first deposit match up to $100. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store, the Play Store, or use my link in the description. Sign up and prop up today. Alright, so the third down defense was much improved, but forcing 3 turnovers and 2 turnovers on downs was something that I was not expecting to see. That's the major piece of the new identity the Texans want to emulate. Take the damn ball away, get off the field, and give the offense as many chances as possible with great field position. So now the question is, how do we get those 3 turnovers? First up is Jonathan Grenard's strip sack, which was a beauty. Out of college with the Florida Gators, I talked about how John is a technician, and every aspect of this sack was perfect. On his second step after the snap, John gives a subtle head and shoulder fake plus the jab step to the inside, but that's just setting up his outside rush. He times a two-handed swipe move perfectly and forces the tackle into panic mode. From here, he disengages from the block with a nice rip with that inside hand while simultaneously flipping his hips towards the quarterback to finish. Love that play from John. Hopefully his injury is minor because he's someone I thought would have a sophomore surge season. The next turnover was a pretty lucky one, to be fair, but Jaleel Johnson just seemed to have a nose for the damn ball on Saturday. Furthermore, he was pretty unblockable for the second half. I'll get into that more, but he just runs through this attempt at a poor combo block. Here's one of our 2 fourth down stops on the day, and I just wanted to quickly highlight the solid coverage. While the front 7 bites on the run fake, watch Tavierre Thomas haul his ass across the formation and be just close enough where Jordan Love doesn't want to make that throw and instead throws it up into double coverage. But if you look at the rest of his options, I mean, it's sticky coverage. There's nowhere for Love to go. It's not something we saw a lot of last year. The last turnover I wanted to show was a beautiful interception that goes back to an early point I made about the defense playing aggressive. Remember how I liked that Desmond King undercut that route on third down? Well, I love how Tremon Smith similarly undercuts this route. In years past, our cornerbacks seemed to always play too far off and would be scared of giving up the big play. That's the coaching thing. Now, I'm not saying they were perfect this game or even particularly good, but it's the shift in mentality that they're allowed to play with. They don't have to play scared no more. They can play aggressive and go get the ball. Yes, the throw was a bit late and it shouldn't have probably been made in the first place, but that's not the defense's fault. We took advantage of their mistakes. We were more prepared, better coached, and it showed with plays like these. Another area that tells me we were ready for this game was our run defense. That's an aspect that typically takes teams a few weeks to get together, in terms of chemistry, run fits, and tackling discipline. But we won the battle in the trenches. And early on, it was these tackle for losses that set the Packers behind the sticks and into those third and longs that I broke down earlier. Let's put some respect on the GOAT's name as he takes on the double team, then splits it and wins outside leverage versus the tackle. But run defense is more than just one player. Jaleel Johnson did his job here too, using quick hands to push back the center into the backfield, and because of winning these 2 blocks, the running back is forced to slow down. So linebacker Kamu Grugier-Hill can capitalize by playing fast and flying into the backfield for the TFL.
Another one.
Again, we got everyone doing their jobs. The GOAT gets low and forces the running back inside. Jaleel again gets quick hands inside and holds the point of attack. But my guy Joe Thomas, underrated linebacker pickup in my opinion, but he aggressively flies forward and destroys this attempt at a block. That's an offensive lineman that's got a good 80 plus pounds on him, but it don't matter. What a play. Later in the game, we saw some great plays from the young guys. Here, Blacklock flies off the snap and slips through the guard, getting into the backfield, and with Grenard setting the edge, where are you going to go? This play is really just the most perfect example of what I've been preaching with Blacklock and playing fast. This is how he shined at TCU, and I'm so glad he flashes that potential again. Blacklock and Jaleel just completely outmatched the backup Packers linemen. They played faster to combat the zone runs, and they used their hands really well. Firstly, Blacklock swats away the left guard's hands, then just pushes the left tackle off of him. Now for Jaleel, he takes on this combo decently, and see how he turns his back away from the center, not exposing his chest? That allows him to get off the block easily and get in on the stuff. We held the Packers to just 49 rushing yards on 2.3 yards per carry, and there were just generally less mistakes as players looked more comfortable due to the scheme switch going from a 2-gap to a 1-gap system. There's less thinking, more reacting, which paired with the energy and fire that the guys in the trenches played with, and man, we got a dominating result. Let's move on to the other side of the ball now, and the Texans again showed what their goal was for the identity that they want to play with. Pound the rock, use the quick passing game, and then play action for, some intermediate shots. That's the recipe, and I loved how they incorporated power run concepts with fullback Paul Quessenberry and running back Scotty Phillips, who was, in my opinion, the MVP of the game. Phillips led the team in all-purpose yards, going 13 for 66 on 5.1 yards per carry, gaining a touchdown, and also adding 4 catches for 23 yards. It started early with this touchdown run, and it really tells the whole story of who Scotty is as a runner. I mean, at this point, things don't look great, and the run could be shut down, but Scotty knows how to run strong between the tackles, lowering his head and driving his feet to drag the defender on his back into the end zone. He's so good at picking up these, 4, 5, 6 yard carries, and I thought he found a good balance of patience and hitting his hole. On this run, there's not much of an opening on the play side, but Quessenberry opens up a hole in the backside with this nice block on the linebacker, leading to a 5-yard gain. Very next play, and this time Scotty sets up Quessenberry. I love how he stutters his feet, almost hesitating and slowing down to allow Quessenberry time to get out in space and make this block on the DB. Then, Scotty shows the ability to get skinny, make a few cuts, and get the first down in traffic. After all those 5-yard gains, Scotty finally got loose once the offensive line made some good blocks. We've got inside zone to the offense's right, everyone gets a hat on a hat, and his perfect slow to it, blow through it by Scotty, turning on the Jets and stiff-arming the poor DB for nearly 30 yards. I hope that Scotty continues to get a bulk of the carries and show that he's got a place in this league. I think he should be the 4th running back on this team, and he might honestly be the 2nd best pure runner behind Phillip Lindsay. With no running back signed past this year, keeping Phillips and developing his youth would be wise, in my opinion. Last thing for today, and that's the Davis Mills progress check. He's had his ups and downs in camp, and that continued versus the Packers. Let's start with the good, and I'll lay out the best way for Mills to have early success, which is with these 5 wide formations. That's when he looked the most comfortable, because splitting Scotty Phillips out wide gives Mills a coverage indicator and allows him to make quicker, easier reads. When he had a clean pocket on the day, Mills got the ball out in 2.2 seconds, which is crazy fast. Since he's not that great under pressure, on the run, or when having to maneuver the pocket, keep him in empty and get the ball out quick. Take this play for example. The Packers try and fool Mills by showing a bit of a man coverage look pre-snap, but actually being in zone. However, Mills can diagnose that pre-snap by seeing a cornerback out wide versus running back Phillips instead of, a linebacker following them out. That signifies zone, not man, which helps Mills determine that Nico on this post route will be open, because if this was man coverage like originally shown, the inside leverage cornerback would be all over the inside breaking post and Mills wouldn't even look his way. But since it's actually cover 3 and Mills can see that it's zone pre-snap, this cornerback will be occupied by Miller in the flat, and the seam will be open for Nico's post as the outside cornerback is worried about his deep third. Mills also had moments of good rhythm and composure on 3rd and longs, finding QT on the out route here and then placing a beautiful ball to Conley on the sideline during 3rd and 13. But with the good came the bad, and his mistakes were rather loud ones. What I mean is that they were costly and ugly. With a chance to convert a short 3rd down, Mills does what he's always done in college on screen passes: miss. Out of the top 10 college quarterbacks who got drafted this year, Mills threw the 4th most passes behind the line of scrimmage, but he completed them at the lowest rate out of the 10, just 76% completion percentage. And yeah, that might sound high, but for reference, the average completion percentage between the 10 quarterbacks on those throws was 89%. Furthermore, Mills' interception was pretty ugly, and an example of him figuring out what he can and can't get away with, plus his difficulty reading coverages. The Packers are in cover 4, which is becoming the most popular coverage in the NFL, and the exact coverage that Mills struggled with most in college. He wants to go to his tight end on the out, but throws it late, and he never sees the cornerback coming off the outside wide receiver to make the break on the ball. Mills never thought the cornerback would do that because to him, it looked like the outside cornerbacks were in man and would follow the wide receivers downfield, clearing out space for the out. But that wasn't the case. Mills must improve at reading the defense post-snap in non-5 wide formations, and specifically versus cover 4. Alright, that's going to do it for the video. Last time I'll say it, yes, it was preseason. Nothing we saw today, makes me think the Texans are going to win the Super Bowl or anything, but after years and years of our team looking unprepared to start the season or in big moment games, it was nice to see these new look Texans with new coaching staff, so many new players. They looked hungry to prove themselves and they just looked happy to play football again. It's a good start towards the journey of turning this team around. I'll more than take that. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the game. Take care, everyone. Come back for more. And remember, the film don't lie.